The aftermath. When Khan, Lizzie, Thad and Jay arrive at the lab church thingy, they meet N trying to open the doors. Jay asks N where TF are the others and what TF is he doing. This stupid Baka look of triumph face with rolling eyes pouting, and where's Tessa? Face with raised eyebrow. N after being through everything was absolutely pissed at Jay's attitude. She was the last person he'd want to see at this moment. And he was having none of it. He started yelling at her Glitch X style while also explaining what just happened. Jay was surprised Weary Cat to see N actually standing up for himself and yelling at her. She was so shocked Weary Cat that she wasn't listening to anything he was saying until he mentioned Tessa, then she was actually listening. After N explained everything, still angry, Jay couldn't believe what she heard. Tessa, dead, started punching him and tried to tackle him. She couldn't now lmao, saying things like liar, traitor, bastard, monster. N got very angry. He punched her a few times which made her fall back. Because he's angry it made him stronger, and Jay is pretty weak RN because she's devastated. Before she could get up, N pinned her to the ground with force and said something like, "Look Jay, we are in a horrible situation right now and everyone's lives are on the edge, and our time is limited. We need to work together to defeat this monster and we need all the help we can get. Do you fucking understand this, you piece of black? I'd kill you if I didn't desperately need the help of," and then they all had a traumatizing experience fighting with the solver, especially Jay because she was scared, devastated, almost vulnerable. And also because she has to destroy the remains of who once was her best friend, her only friend, her mother figure, Tessa. After that, N asked her in a sarcastic tone if she still wants to kill worker drones even though the whole company thing was a lie. Jay was so traumatized she couldn't even speak. So N took it as a yes. He told Khan that they wouldn't be killing WDs anymore, which is a lie, and he would only hunt ones nearby because he needs to survive, and asked Khan to let him stay somewhere. Khan let him because he thought that if he didn't they'd kill the entire colony, which they wouldn't. Gave them a house for free and they don't have to pay rent, loudly crying. Khan also warned every WD in the colony to not bother the scary disassembly drones living in our colony rent-free, fearful face. So N dragged Jay to live in this house with him, which fortunately has 2 bedrooms. Jay just wanted to die. Jay now wears a similar version of her maid dress which she made herself. Because while fighting her clothes burned, loudly crying. Yes, she can sew. She used to be a servant robot after all. She hasn't touched her hair since that day and it's now messy and the twintails are very loose. She has stopped killing worker drones and only drinks boxed oil, which exists in. She doesn't care about the company anymore. She's depressed obviously and locks herself in her room and cries because half of her life was a lie, and also because Tessa. She's also traumatized because of all of this, and also because N threatened that he would have killed her if she didn't take his side during the massive fight with the solver. She was vulnerable back then because it was just too much for her to take in. N wears his prom dapper outfit because his clothes were burned too, and also because he never learned how to sew. Pensive face, and that dapper suit was the only piece of clothing he had left. Loudly crying, he sometimes grabs the silly Baka WDs that try to peek at the scary disassembly drones living in their colony rent-free, fearful face window and eats them to survive. He could also drink the boxed oil, but he decided to leave them for Jay. He wants to protect her now since she's the only thing that remains of the past. He has already lost enough, both of them did. They only have each other now. N tries to talk to her even though is not so mentally stable anymore, and feels guilty for traumatizing Jay more. They are very slowly starting to get along with each other.